Hey my love, I am Susie from sacredwithsusie.com and I want to share 5 things that I have really learned and embodied recently that I think will really help you too. So especially if you're someone that struggles with perfectionism, with anxiety, with overwhelm, with worthiness, with confidence, with feeling like you're enough, these 5 things will really help you. So a little bit about me, my name is Susie. I am a feminine embodiment and empowerment coach. I help women become their fully expressed, liberated selves. I help women liberate themselves from their own minds, from all the things that hold them back from expression, like their fears, their limiting beliefs, their stories, their ego, so that you can become your fully expressed self and experience the true bliss and ecstasy that comes from showing up as your true self in the world. So these are the 5 things. Number 1 is fill yourself up first, and then everything else gets so much easier. So when you commit to your own self-care, your own self-love practices, when you fill up, we've heard it all before, right? When you fill up your own cup, then you can give from overflow. But it is so true, and this point is not to be underestimated. When you are constantly living for everyone else, if you're a people pleaser, if you struggle with boundaries, if you struggle saying no, and you don't ever put yourself first, if you don't ever give back to yourself, you're constantly running on empty. And that eventually will lead to resentment and burnout, and you're just like scraping the barrel dry. You're scraping your own being, body, system dry. And this is not a fun, exciting, delicious, feminine, magnetic place to live from. If you want to increase your confidence and your worthiness, if you want others to see you in like this light of like this radiant, magnetic, attractive, confident woman, you need to start putting yourself first. And this doesn't mean like crazy big, like going for massages every single day or getting a facial every day or spending heaps of money. It can be like a 2-minute skincare routine in the morning, like buy yourself a really beautiful moisturizer and moisturize your face for like 2 minutes and maybe say affirmations to yourself in the mirror. Or maybe it's like saging your house or cleansing or even cleaning your house. Like do the things, commit yourself to doing the things that make you feel good first. And then I promise you everything else gets so much easier. Okay, number 2. I love this quote. This is an Alex Hormozy quote, who is like a business coach, marketing dude. Super random, but I love this quote. He says, "Extraordinary results come from ordinary actions repeated for an extraordinary amount of time." So without so many words, what does that mean? Basically, like anything that you're working towards, any goals that you have, any visions or intentions that you have for yourself, anything that you desire in your life, anything that you're working towards, the way that you receive it, even if this is confidence, right? Even if you're working towards becoming a more confident version of you, becoming a more worthy version of you, if you're working towards loving yourself better or learning how to regulate your emotions, the thing is that to achieve anything in life, you just have to do the things many times. And so the steps and the actions that you take, they're not amazing. They're not extraordinary actions. It's not like people further along the journey than you. It's not like women that are more confident than you have this magic special trick or tip or pill that they take. It's just committed daily action, right? It's just consistent action. Like even if all you do is every single day when you wake up, you say, "I love you." If you do that every day for a month, you will experience more self-love in your life. It's small actions done consistently for a long period of time that will create the biggest changes in your life. That is how you integrate and embody a new version of you, right? By taking simple actions every single day, consistent actions every single day that will change your motherfucking life. Got it? Number 3, I love this. This is kind of like random and maybe a little bit like backwards. I can't think of the word. Anyway, whatever. If you're someone that struggles with comparison, this is huge, okay? This is one of my sayings. There is always going to be someone better than you. And there is always going to be someone better than you, aka another way to say it is there's always going to be someone further along the journey than you at anything you do, right? In your work, as a parent, as like, if you're a hobby artist, I pole dance, like pretty much every single thing that you'll ever do, there'll always be someone better than you. As in, there'll always be someone further along the journey than you, right? That's done it for a longer period of time, that's had more practice. And there'll always be someone less advanced than you, right? Someone earlier along the journey than you. And so the thing is with comparison, when we have this tendency in our brains to compare ourselves to others, most of the time what we're doing is we're comparing our like step 1 or step 3 or step 7 to someone's step 1000, right? Like when I started pole dancing, when I started pole dancing, I was comparing myself to other women in the class or women in levels further along than me. And I'm like, wow, they're so amazing. And then someone else looking at me dancing is like, wow, you're so amazing. And like to the person, this is a really cool way of looking at it, right? So to the person that's never danced before, they look at me dancing and they're like, oh my God, you're amazing. And then if they look at someone that I think is amazing in their own minds, like there's not much of a difference between me and the person who's danced for 7 years, right? Kind of. Another example is like musicians, right? Like my partner is a musician and he's fucking amazing. And I see him play on stage and I'm like, holy fuck, like I have no idea what you're doing. This is incredible. You're amazing. And then I'll hear like super, super famous musicians on Spotify, and to me they kind of sound the same, right? Like they're both musicians, they're doing amazing things, they're somehow making amazing music out of their fingertips. I don't get it, I don't know how to do it. To me they're the same. But to my partner, the difference between him and the difference between like Paul McCartney or someone who plays keys, I don't even know, is like huge, right? Like to him that difference is huge, but to me, knowing nothing about music, they're basically the same. So my point is like, there'll always be someone better than you no matter where you are. And there'll always be someone that looks at something. There'll always be that person that's looking at something that you're doing from that beginner's mind of like, whoa, she's amazing at that. And you, from your perception, you look at someone else and think they're amazing, right? But it doesn't fucking matter. Like the real point of the matter is that it doesn't actually matter. But when our brains are so caught up in this comparison, it can rule our lives, right? So I find solace in understanding and knowing that there'll always be someone better than me, always be someone not as good as me, and it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't actually matter. So when comparison arises in your mind next time, just notice, am I comparing my step 1 or my step 2 or my step 10 to their step 1000 or 2000? My point is, if you're someone that struggles with comparison, there are forever, ever going to be opportunities for you to compare yourself to someone that's better than you. That's never going to go away. No matter what you do, no matter how hard you try at something, no matter how good you get at something, there will always be someone better. So, therefore, the goal, when that comparison arises, the goal isn't to get better because there's always going to be someone better. So it's like a losing battle, right? The goal is to start to switch that mentality and switch the comparison from this thing that within your own being triggers unworthiness or not enoughness, or like, oh, she's better than me. That means she's better than me at this thing. That means she's better than me, right? Like, that's not true. They're not inherently better than you as a human being. They're just slightly further along that particular journey. And so can you use that as a tool for inspiration and motivation? And also, can you look at the person that is starting, right? In maybe in other areas of your life, and notice the things that you're amazing at, and someone from the outside in looking at you is like, wow, she is epic at that. So it's a continuum, right? And can we start to release the tendency to allow comparison to send us down a negative self-thought spiral, an unworthiness spiral? And can we just accept the fact that there'll always be someone better than us? There'll always be someone not as good as us. And it doesn't fucking matter anyway. 4, I love this one. This is really, 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 really potent medicine for me at the moment. When I stop worrying, I open up the space for me to receive everything I desire. So I don't know about you, if you're a little bit like me, if you can tend to worry about lots of different things happening or not happening, or achieving the things that you want, or getting the things that you want. Is it possible for me to experience this? Is it possible for me to do this? And you spend all of this time worrying and worrying and worrying and worrying, and that's creating this cloud of worry and fear and pressure around you. And that's actually stopping you from receiving what you actually want. And you can actually receive what you want now in this moment by simply tuning into the feelings. And this is kind of leaning on manifestation energetics. By simply tuning into the feelings of how would it feel to already have that thing that you want. And so instead of spending all of this time worrying, which is creating the energy and the vibration of worry around you, you're embodying worry, you're embodying fear, and they're low vibrational energies that are not magnetic and attractive. Instead, when that fear arises, because it will, when that worry arises, because it will, and it's not wrong. It's not wrong to worry, it's not wrong to be afraid. There's just a part of you that feels that worry, and can we love that part of you? That's just probably your inner child. It's just your little girl, afraid that she's not enough, afraid that she's not enough to receive what she wants. Can we love her when that worry and that fear arises? Can we send love to our inner child? I love you, and you're safe, and I've got you, and you're enough. And the worry starts to dissipate. It's not about pushing the worry away or even solving the worry or getting rid of the worry. Can we love the worry? Can we love the fear, and that allows it to dissolve and disintegrate? Can we love the parts of us that are afraid, that feel fear, that worry, that feel like we're not enough? Can we love them? And when we love them, the worry dissolves. And we open ourselves up energetically to receive what we actually want. And it feels so much better, right? Like even if we didn't receive the thing that we actually wanted, it feels better to not be in this constant worry, right? Or this resistance to the worry and the fear. So can we love the worry and the fear to allow it to start to dissolve and disintegrate? And then we're in this vibration that just feels better to exist in. A vibration of trust, a vibration of enough. I am safe. Yes, of course, I get to receive everything I want. That feels so much better, right? And then that links to the 5th and final one. Relax, let go, I am enough. And this is a beautiful affirmation to repeat to yourself every day, multiple times a day. Put it in your reminders in your phone so that it pops up at 9 a.m. or 12 p.m. or whatever. Write post-it notes around your house that say, relax, let go, I am enough. Put a post-it note on your steering wheel in your car. And whenever you feel any anxiety, any fear, any overwhelm, any stress, any old stories that say that you're not enough, relax, let go, I am enough. Relax, let go, I am enough. I hope this video was helpful. I love you so much. Follow me on Instagram, Sacred with Susie. Hit subscribe on YouTube. I'm going to be sharing these wisdom codes every single week from now on. I'm excited to serve you further, and you're enough. You're enough. Mwah.